there's a box on your doorstep right now. Or there was last week, or the week before that. You don't fully remember ordering it. You just remember the notification. Your package has been delivered. And for one small, bright second, you felt something close to happy. You carried it inside. You opened it. And then, usually within a day, that feeling was just gone. The thing inside is sitting in a drawer now, or on a shelf, half out of its packaging, untouched. You didn't need it. You still don't use it. And in a week or two, you'll probably do it again. That's not a willpower problem. It isn't really about the object at all. People who study buying behavior have traced this exact loop back to 3 separate forces, all working on you at the same time, and not one of them cares whether you actually need the thing. The first one starts with a single new object in your house. In 1769, a French philosopher named Denis Diderot was given an expensive scarlet robe as a gift. Fine fabric, deep red, nicer than anything he owned. He wrote an essay about what happened next, and it wasn't gratitude. Sitting at his old writing desk in that new robe, the desk suddenly looked shabby beside it. So he replaced the desk. The new desk made his chair look worn out. So the chair went too. A set of old prints on the wall stopped matching the room. Those came down next. One gift. An entire study slowly rebuilt around it, piece by piece, just to keep up with a robe. Researchers later named this pattern after him, the Diderot Effect. One new purchase quietly resets your sense of what belongs together. Everything old sitting next to the new thing suddenly reads as mismatched, or dated, or a little embarrassing. Not because it stopped working, because it stopped matching. Picture it in your own life. You buy one nice pair of shoes, and your whole wardrobe looks tired standing next to them. You get a new phone. The case looks cheap. The charger looks wrong. Even the desk it sits on looks dated. Or you finally replace one tired kitchen appliance, and now the counter it sits on looks like it belongs in a different decade. And it doesn't stop at one swap. Buy one throw pillow that actually looks good on the couch, and the couch underneath it starts to look tired. Replace the couch, and the wall behind it reads as the wrong color. Repaint the wall, and the old light fixture looks like it wandered in from a different house. Interior design blogs even have a phrase for the far end of that spiral, the room that's never quite finished. It's the same effect Diderot described in 769, just running at the scale of a whole house instead of a writing desk. It shows up on a phone home screen too. Download one sleek new app, and the icons sitting around it suddenly look dated, mismatched, cluttered. So you tidy the folder, then the wallpaper, then, eventually, the phone itself. None of those other things changed overnight. Your standard did. It's a spiral that runs almost entirely under your awareness. And it's only the first one. The second force isn't about your stuff matching itself. It's about your stuff matching you. In 1988, a consumer psychologist named Russell Belk published a theory that's still cited constantly today. People don't just own their possessions. They fold them into who they are. He called it the extended self. Losing a treasured object doesn't feel like misplacing an item. It feels like losing a small piece of yourself. That means a purchase is rarely just a transaction. It's a small act of self-definition, a signal aimed partly at other people and partly at you. Buying something isn't only, I want this. Underneath it, quieter, it's this is who I am, or who I'm becoming. Think about the running shoes bought before a single run, the nice notebook bought before a single page gets filled, the gym bag purchased before the first visit to an actual gym. You weren't just buying gear in any of those moments. You were buying the identity that comes with it, in advance, before you'd earned a single piece of it. There's a version of this built for an audience now, too. A meal doesn't just get eaten anymore. It gets photographed first, plated for the picture, sometimes even ordered because it'll look good in the picture. The purchase becomes proof, aimed outward, that you're the kind of person who eats like this, travels like this, lives like this. The self being extended just happens to live on a phone screen instead of a closet shelf. And here's the part worth sitting with. You're not weak, and you're not shallow for doing this. Buying an identity in advance is a completely human shortcut, not a character flaw. It's just a shortcut that skips the part where you actually have to become the thing. The third force is happening somewhere you have zero conscious access to at all. The reward circuitry of your own brain. Neuroscientists have scanned people's brains while they shop, tracking a small structure called the nucleus accumbens, one of the brain's core reward centers. In a well-known 2007 study led by Brian Knutson, that's exactly what they found. Here's the strange part. It doesn't fire hardest when you receive the item. It fires hardest in the seconds before you click buy, while you're still deciding, still picturing owning it. The peak of the entire experience is anticipation, not ownership. The moment your thumb hovers over the button is, neurologically, about as good as this gets. Once the purchase is confirmed, that circuit quiets down almost immediately, and once the item actually arrives, it fades further still. There's a name for that too. Hedonic adaptation. Anything new eventually turns into background noise. Wallpaper. Something your brain simply stops registering. That's why the box on your doorstep felt better sealed than opened. It's why unboxing videos are their own genre now, with entire channels built around the 10 seconds before the tape gets cut. The creator isn't really showing you the product. They're reselling you that spike secondhand, and it works almost as well watching someone else feel it as it does feeling it yourself. The wanting was the whole show. The having was just the credits rolling, so you were never really chasing the object. You were chasing a narrow window of wanting it, and it is a genuinely short window. Here's the part that makes all three of this worse. Somebody studied these same three levers on purpose and built businesses around pulling them. In 1984, a psychologist named Robert Cialdini cataloged the tactics professional persuaders actually use in a book called Influence. One of the 6 principles he documented was scarcity. Tell someone they might lose the chance to get something, and they want it more, almost on reflex, whether or not they wanted it 5 minutes earlier. Retailers didn't just read that finding. They built entire storefronts around it, a countdown clock ticking under a product listing. Only 2 left in stock. A limited drop that sells out and never restocks. None of that is neutral information sitting on a page. Each one is a manufactured trigger aimed straight at the anticipation spike, sitting in your nucleus accumbens, engineered on purpose and served back to you as urgency. Think about the last flash sale you clipped through in a hurry, thumb moving faster than usual. The countdown wasn't there to inform you. It was there to compress your decision window down to almost nothing, so the peak Knutson scanner picked up happens fast, before the slower, more careful part of your brain gets a vote. A limited edition, anything pulls the Diderot lever too. It quietly implies that everyone who didn't get one is now a step behind. Cialdini documented another lever too, right next to scarcity, social proof. A banner that says, 40 people bought this today, isn't reporting a fact for your benefit. It's lending you a crowd's confidence, so you can skip the part where you'd otherwise trust your own judgment. Stack scarcity and social proof on the same page, and you get the layout of most checkout screens built in the last decade. A shrinking timer next to a rising head count, pulling on your anticipation circuit and your sense of belonging to a crowd, at the same time, on purpose. So the 3 forces you just walked through aren't accidents. An entire industry mapped them a long time ago and presses on them on purpose as often as it can get away with it. Put those 3 forces next to each other and the whole loop makes a lot more sense. Your brain hands you a sharp little hit of anticipation before nearly every purchase, and almost nothing afterward. So buying again is the fastest, most reliable way back to that feeling. Each purchase quietly defines you a little, which makes it feel meaningful even when it's small, even when it's completely unnecessary. And every new thing resets your sense of what belongs together, so the last purchase always seems to demand one more, just to match it. 3 separate systems. 3 completely different origins. A philosopher's robe, a theory of identity, a scan of your own brain. And outside your own head, a whole industry has learned exactly where those 3 levers sit, and leans on them on purpose, every single day. The App Store surfacing, trending now before your actual search results, the countdown clock, the 40 people bought this today. Banner. None of it is neutral design. It's the same 3 levers built into an interface instead of a study, and every single one of them points the exact same direction. Buy again. So the next box on your doorstep, you'll probably still feel that small, bright second when the notification hits your phone. That part isn't a flaw. It's just how the system runs. Knowing a countdown timer was built to do exactly that to you doesn't switch it off, and it isn't supposed to. But right before you click buy, there's a real specific window where you could ask yourself one honest question. Is this about the thing? Or is this about that feeling right before you get it? Or if there's a countdown clock on the screen, is this actually running out? Or is somebody just telling you it is? You don't have to get the answer right every time. You just have to notice there's a question there at all. Most people never do.